we talk a lot. It's I think in almost no time at all, we have managed to surpass everything that where you were had in terms of numbers, in terms of deaths, quite quickly.
Yeah, and I think that raises a lot of questions. I think, and I think more people are going to start figuring this out, or those people that have been in denial about numbers coming out of China might start to rethink things because now it's the math isn't adding up. So a lot of questions here, I think.
Yeah. So let's start about how things are going over where you are, and then I'm going to talk about how things are going over where I am. So how are things
Sure.
in Macau?
Uh, that's hard to tell. I wish I could give you a really great answer on that. In some respects, it seems normal, and other respects, it seems very abnormal. Hong Kong has shut Macau off, and Macau shut Hong Kong off, and same with the. We also share a border with Zhuhai, China, and that's all shut down too. So um, it's as if the authorities all over the area are bracing for something to occur. We're still going up in numbers. I think we're on our 36th case now. Um,
Great.
I believe it to be in the city, but so far nothing has come out about that. But there are some few things that have happened with a few people that have tested positive that I just don't see how it cannot be within the community at this time.
Yeah.
So there are some fear is a little bit palpable within the city, I think.
So yeah, it's interesting how the tables have turned because over in the states, we're getting I wouldn't say we're getting hammered, but I think I think it was as of today, we've comfortably surpassed 2,000 deaths to this point. And the thing that's most concerning I've noticed is the overall death rate of closed cases. You would
Mm-hmm.
imagine with further testing it would go down, but it only seems to keep going up. What do you think that is?
That's a good question. I always figured that this would probably be the case. It is probably because you know what? I don't have an answer for that, Rob. I
Yeah.
really don't. That is a difficult thing to discern, and I'm not an epidemiologist. I hopefully we'll figure it out. I don't know. Is it to do with more testing or better testing? I don't know at this point because every government has had to create their own test, so to speak, and some of these tests have been very faulty too. So
Yeah, I just figured with increased testing, we would get to a point where uh, it would diminish because that's what was the plan.
well, that might suggest that this virus is much more lethal than we anticipated, and that might actually lead back to China again with the numbers. This might also be another indication that something is amiss over here in this side of the world.
That's what I thought. I mean, you and I talked about this. Was it months, 2 months ago? We
Yeah,
suspected that the numbers from China were completely bogus, and I think
yeah,
one of the big things that I was stating when we started revealing how bad it was in the states was, we're gonna see how much China lied to us, because in the United States we're simply not capable of covering up something of that magnitude. So
yeah.
here we are. Also, something worth noting. As of tonight, Italy is now past 10,000 deaths single-handedly.
Italy has passed 10,000 deaths.
Yes, they are past 10,000. And so we're getting to a point now where it's just the flu gang. We're approaching that worldwide, year-long amount of deaths that the flu has, and this has just begun. Like this really
Sure,
hasn't.
right. And you and I anticipated that a few months ago. I think we were always both on the same page of that. So I'm not surprised by that. Still, it kind of hits hard when it does happen, even if you did kind of expect it. It's concerning, and it's a big wake up call, I think, to many people that were in denial before, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, so I could say over here in the states, I can't give as much of a bird's eye view as you did in Macau because uh, a lot. It seems like the U.S. are kind of sheltering us from how bad it is. Like a lot of what I have learned. I mean, you're in the chat with me, so this is stuff you already know. But for everyone who's checking out here, one of the big things that I share in the chat with these guys is updates from my friends in the medical field, and the story from people in the medical field is pretty awful. Uh,
Yeah,
but
it's pretty grim stuff
yeah,
for sure.
and the news, everyone keeps saying, this is just the news overhyping things, just scaring people. I think it's the opposite. I think the situation in hospitals right now is dire, and it's not really reported.
I honestly agree with you. I'm wondering if for once the news media and the journalists got everything wrong this time, and the public got it all got everything right, and the public got it all wrong. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Whereas this time they actually did their jobs, but you know nobody believes them, anymore because a lot of credibility has been lost within the industry. And I do have a friend that's in journalism, or he spent 20 years in journalism, and he just got out, and he also confirms that suspicion. So yeah. Mm, okay. Um, okay.